Hi everyone, the theme for the week is if God exists. How do we view God? What do we think of the omnipresent being that may or may not be there? And I guess I'm going to start off by outlining what I believe, which is I don't really care whether God exists or not. And don't hate me for that, it's just I don't think I would particularly live my life differently whether or not God exists. A God, any God. So if you're going to hate on me for that, at least read the description bar, because I'll probably outline that a bit more down there. But I have talked about this in previous videos, so I don't want to be going over the same stuff over and over again. So then, if I go on to say, let's make the assumption for the rest of the video that God does exist. If that's true, how do I view that being? Which, I mean, is always an option in what I believe, is there might be something up there. And I guess the interesting thing for me is that the aspect of free will, in that they've created this entire planet, this entire race, and I don't know how to view that thing, because it's so huge and unknowable, and I don't even quite know what I want to say in this video because it's so open-ended. But I guess the thing that always fascinated me when I was a little kid, and we used to have I was at a public primary school, but we used to have these religion classes that we all went to unless our parents sent in a form saying we shouldn't go to them, and no one could ever be bothered sending the form in, so we all just went to the religion classes. Anyway, and we used to have these people come in, and I was that annoying kid that always wanted the answers, so I used to go up to him and I'd be like, but if God didn't want them to eat the apple, why'd he put the snake in there? Like, that's just so pointless. And it took me a while to actually realize that the point wasn't necessarily that God put the snake in there to allow them to be corrupted. If that story is symbolic of something, it's the idea that they were given the choice between what they wanted to do. And the really cool thing about that is this idea that God had the power in that situation to just leave them in a little area and not have the snake, and they would never have to make the choice. But they were actually given the option. And I guess I hope that if there's a God out there, they have created the world in that idea of everyone has the option to choose what they want to be as people and all that. And I think that's hopefully what it is. I mean, I think that's why there are bad things in the world, because people have the option to choose. And I don't think that should be taken as an idea, oh, there are bad things in the world because people choose bad things, so that must mean that humans are evil or something, because some people seem to jump to that conclusion, and I don't think that's quite what it means. I think it just means that not everyone makes the same decision. But that's not really even talking about God, and I'm avoiding the actual question entirely because it is so impossible to know anything. And for me, I don't need to know anything because I don't need to know. It doesn't matter to me that much, I guess. What matters to me more is the way that we as people can live our lives. Because I think that trying to figure out that is so less important than trying to figure out if we have the choice of doing something, what should we do with that choice? If we have the freedom to do good, then what should we be doing to be good? I don't know if this makes any sense. And it hasn't answered James's question. I don't know, I guess I just don't view God. I spend a lot of my time not really thinking about God because I don't think you can truly think about God, and I think anyone who tries to put God into a human form, the people who try and view God purely as a human, it seems so impossible. And I don't know if this has said what I want to say. I actually don't know what I want to say. Maybe I'll have to revisit this another week once I've thought it. It's such a huge thing to think about, and really not a one-take video kind of thing. So, I'll see you on Tuesday, James. DFTBA.